My guest today is the former lead, the singer of Voivod, and now the face of international metal band EForce. So please welcome Eric Forrest. Hi, Eric. How are you?
Hey, Gabriel, how are you? Thanks for having me on today. Thank you.
Pleasure is for me. First, I'm curious. Do you remember when you decided to play bass and metal music? When it happened, and maybe who introduced you to this style of music? Who inspired you?
I remember being a teenager and going to a friend's house and watching like videos from like the Yes Festival in the United States, different videos of Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, whatever, and kind of started playing bass because of that. And I started like September '84. Started playing bass, and I was a bass player first, and then later became a singer. But yeah, the Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, early Metallica, Exodus, Voivod, all that stuff kind of, give me the reason to do it. Yeah.
You listen to Voivod, and after you've been the lead singer of this band. So how it was to being the member of one of your favorite band?
Well, I think it was the right time and right place for myself, and I guess for Piggy in a way. It was by chance, right time, right place. I knew people and got an audition and did the audition. And in fact, those guys didn't even ask me to learn any of the songs. They just said, "Come up and we'll jam." So I play the bass, improvisation, 10 minutes, and they say, "Okay, that's it. You're in the band. That's it. Let's go for a beer." I'm like, "Oh." Oh, it was really, really cool that way. And what can I say? I lived and learned a lot professionally and through the life, and did like 7 years and many tours with those guys, and incredible experience. That's for sure. No doubt about it.
Back in the days, how was the reaction of the fans of Voivod when you've been the singer?
I think for some they didn't really like it, but I think for some they did because, from the previous albums that I did or that they did before me, like from the Outer Limits or Angel Rat, whatever, the Negatron was more heavier, it was more heavy. So I think some of the old school fans from the earlier albums kind of like, okay, this is pretty cool. It's, more thrashy, heavier voice and stuff. And, it people accepted it. I really didn't have nothing to lose. It's fine. I live in Toulouse. I just kind of, did what I did and added my flavor to their recipe, their cuisine already, déjà. And it just kind of come out like that in a natural way. And I think we surprised a lot of people. Still to this day, a lot of people still think, wow, those two records are really, some people told me that they prefer that than the other 14, 15. Wow, it's really overwhelming to hear that. Compliment, but it's not a competition. I mean, Snake is Voivod, ça c'est sûr, clarinet aussi, but the reaction went over pretty well. Yeah.
We live now in present and after in the future, but can you explain how your time with Voivod helped you to become the artist you are today?
Like I said earlier, I lived and learned a lot from away in Piggy in terms of just how it is on a professional level. And I, kind of took what I learned from, that experience to when I started EForce in 2001 and just applied it the best way I could do, really. And, there's a lot of things you live and learn and by this music business that you discover. And so it's been an interesting 20-year journey, I must say. I mean, it's 5 albums later, maybe like 500 shows later, 18 countries later. So what can I say? I can't complain.
Now you have your band, EForce, Mindbender was released at the end of 2021. I just want to know, how can you explain the band Explode now and now before and not before?
Well, I mean, the first record came out in 2003. We're on a label in France called Season of Mist, which is pretty well known now today. And we did like, I don't know, 30 shows supporting some black metal bands from Norway, Carpathian Forest and Echo Shooter, Tour Bus, all that stuff. And then I went from another album and then to another one and another one. It's been very underground to some degree, but still efficace, you know? So I don't know, maybe the band deserves more, but these days in this business, there's a lot of markets and a lot of bands and a lot of competition. So it is what it is. I've been thankful enough to be able to release what I've done and be able to do what I've done. And why it's not bigger, I don't know.
Can we explain like this, like an insect, you grown?
Yeah.
Pretty cool. I want to know what the title Mindbender means to you, and what was your approach about the creativity of the song?
Well, lyrically, it's about, you know, conspiracy, hypocrisy, and mystery, which is kind of, ironic enough, is kind of what's going on today. It's kind of weird how you write some songs and think stuff, and then they almost take on another form itself with, you know, what's happening. So I think lyrically, I kind of write stuff where certain people can read it and take different things from it, you know? Meaning it's not just about smoke on the water or whatever. It's about stuff where psychologically you can think about it and, oh yeah, I've been there before, or oh yeah, I understand, about conspiracy, hypocrisy, and mysteries. So it was about that, lyrically. Musically, you know, just riff after riff idea from this and that, and you know, put the puzzle together, basically. And it is what it is.
Which song lyrics means the most to you, and why?
Oh, I would say all of it. It's really hard to say just one song because
it's like a kid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's not really a concept record, but in a way it is, because all the songs are kind of related. You know, the subject of the Mindbender, the way the mind thinks of the way this is and the way that is and the way life can go and your perception on what is reality, I guess.
Like a lot of people, I suffer anxiety, and I think this album could help the guy that he had anxiety and live with this fucking shit. Do you think it can help some people with this?
I suppose it could. I mean, I think a lot of musicians can have anxiety and schizophrenia or whatever, dealing with this business and stuff. So I guess it can relate to a lot of people and a lot of things, not just musicians or who like metal. Lyrically, you can people in everyday life, whether it's a young person or an old person or someone who's healthy or sick or malade. I mean, it's not a thing to help people, but yeah, I guess if you look at it from that perception, it could explain things and why things are where they are, perhaps.
You decide to do a cover of the Voivod, the song Insect, in your new album with EForce. Why did you choose this song?
After the Demonical tour, had some member changes, label changes, and a month before the last record and the Demonical record and then Mindbender, it was like a 6-year period. The Demonical album, we did maybe 60, 70 shows of that. And then to find new members, and it was a kind of thing, it was between, like I said, that, and I went to go see Uli John Roth in Toulouse here, and he's doing a tour called Scorpions Revisited. And I thought, that's an interesting idea. So I basically did Voivod Revisited tour, maybe 30 shows, 8 different countries, to pass some time, to play these songs. And so when it was come to do a new record and this and that, we thought, okay, let's we just did this for a couple of years. Let's just do this song. Plus, it's kind of the 25th anniversary of Negatron, and incidentally, you're supposed to re-release those two records on Linus Entertainment, I'm told, last year or this year. So it was kind of advertising for that in a sense.
Are you okay to say Mindbender is your most darkest album you have ever played?
Well, some songs on other albums are heavier and faster in some ways. Number one, the production on the record is really, really the best album so far. That's probably because the new drummer, who's been in the band 4 years now, is also the producer, engineer of my 4 other records. So hence why the drums sound pretty good, because he's the drummer, he's the engineer. That's Patrick Friedrich. Sound-wise, it's probably the best production. We have a lot of different little interesting sounds and, effects going on, and almost like a movie and stuff. So yeah, I'd say it's one of the darkest, one of the best records to date, for sure. Absolutely.
Later, before we talk about the song Insect, I want to know, in the past, you did a cover of Voivod with the song Victory.
Yes.
Tribute to your friend Peggy Denis d'Amour.
Right.
Do you think Insect could be more appreciated than Victory?
Well, I think the Insect's a better song. The Victory was really a tribute to Piggy, because it was, I kind of stole it from the 11 songs that are still in demo stage before I parted ways with those guys. And I didn't really ask permission. I just did it. And the song's called Victory, so it's almost a victory, like, hey, brought a demo song into a full album release. And, it is what it is.
With the unreleased album that you talked, at my point of view, it could be very, very nice to hear your voice and the one of Snake, Denis Bélanger, the current singer of Voivod, do this album, maybe in the future. It could be very interesting for a fan of Voivod, for a fan of music. Are you okay to do it if Voivod said yes?
I don't really think I have a choice, but I don't think they would do that, because that was then, this is now. I mean, there's been talk that they want to release it on a DVD too, and this and that, and the video footage that I did with the guys and stuff. But, they're concentrating on what they've been doing for the last 20 years. So to go backwards to re-release this, I don't know. I guess if maybe the Mindbender sold 10 million records, they might want to, but I don't know. I don't think that will happen, nor I don't see why they would want to, because that was a period in the past to recover those songs and have Snake do that. I don't think they would want to or need to, really.
But the first time you join your voice with Denis at a show, the reaction was very, very insane. So what is your feeling when you decide to say, hey, Eric, go with me on stage and sing all the song and go ahead with that? It could be very nice for you too.
Oh, absolutely, for sure. I mean, you never know, right? I sometimes hint and joke about, hey, when's the Voivod EForce Newstead tour? That would be kind of cool for fans. Like, I think the band Halloween kind of does that. They have 2-3 singers and stuff, and they kind of, but it's not my choice to say that. But I wouldn't say no, that's for sure. But it would give the fans special to have those 3 bands kind of do a tour. I think it would be very, very unique. But I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Just to close, what's next for you and your band? I know now is the pandemic and all this shit, but what's next for you?
Well, we have a few shows tentatively booked. A festival in September. This is a Menacerie, I think it's called, up in the north in September. It's a festival, I don't know, 2,000-3,000 people. Maybe 3-4 shows in May. Show in Paris in January 2023. On va voir, you know. We're going to have to wait and see what is happening. We like to be in sure, say a tour, you know, 25 shows or something in Europe. But with this situation, I you know, being optimistic, absolutely, bien sûr. But, well, je connais un peu l'histoire, my homework un peu, and je connais the Illuminati, the Freemasons, and all that stuff. So I don't think this is going to go away anytime soon, you know?
So if something changes one day, please come back to Quebec.
Oh, yeah. In fact, I played Quebec in 2017. I did 10 shows in Quebec. We played in Quebec City, Sherbrooke, Montreal. Played the Catacomb there. Ottawa, Hamilton, Toronto. We did like 10 shows. I had my Canadian guys, my friends. Dan Lozon from the first EForce record from the band Entropy. My good friend Jim McLean from Mortal Annoyance. And this drummer, named Blake. From a band in Montreal, forget the bands. But yeah, we did 10 shows. I would like to come back to Canada, of course, play again. Absolutely. I mean, we were supposed to come back to doing this Voivod Revisited a few years ago, just before this thing started. So, you know, it's for everybody, you know. What's next? Let's go fake.
We can say that in the future, Quebec will receive you and your band.
We'd love to play again. Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. Eric Forrest from EForce, thank you very much. Have a nice day. Thanks again for your time and all your patience for music.
Hey, merci beaucoup à toi et pour nous, pour tous, everybody. Si tu es intéressé, just regard www.eforceofficial.com for information, or, you know, Facebook or Eric Forrest, EForce, whatever. Merci beaucoup. Okay, Gabriel. Thank you. Au revoir.